Good morning. But okay, so I noticed that on our shared Netflix account you were watching Tangled. So I watched all of Tangled. And I thought, maybe I'll just tell you about Rapunzel and how, the real story of Rapunzel, which is that she was not a stolen princess. What happened was there's this like whatever the equivalent of a suburban couple back then. There's just these two farmers trying to have a baby. And they lived next door to a witch who was behind a wall, not a huge wall, but like a wall, like a probably 5-6 foot high wall. And after she gets pregnant, the wife starts craving rampion, a specific variety of rampion called Rapunzel. Yeah, Rapunzel's a local variety of radish. So farmer's wife started having Fraggle-like cravings for Rapunzel. And there wasn't any except in the witch's garden next door. So the husband goes, hops the wall, steals some Rapunzel for his wife. Loves it. It's great. Everything's fantastic. A couple days later, she wants more. He goes. He steals more. He's starting to feel a little bad about this because he's not a bad neighbor. It's just his wife is having crazy cravings for like radishes and ice cream and shit. Oh. So, yeah, so he goes, he steals more. The third night, and he gets caught and begs for his life from the crazy witch, and the witch, as is common in fairy tales, she says, okay, fine, you can go and take the rampion, the Rapunzel, but I want your firstborn child. Which really, I don't understand as payment. Like, why would you do that? Like, why? Give me your child. Yeah, because I want to deal with an infant. That's what I want. That's the fair trade. Whatever, obviously that's not the witch's priority. So, that all happens, and she does, in fact, keep the girl, and raise her up in the top of a tower, and they never cut her hair, and, every day the witch goes out, and when she comes back, she calls out, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair, that I may climb the golden stair. And Rapunzel pulls her up, and Rapunzel passes the time by singing, and one day, the prince, who's out for a ride, hears the singing, and he's enchanted by it, and just hides out near the tower, listening to her enchanting voice, until one day he gets up I almost said scrotum. He gets up the courage to go over and say, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair that I may climb the golden stair. She pulls him up. They fall madly in bed with each other. It happens a couple times, and then depending on the version that you're checking out, either Rapunzel asks the witch, how come she's so much easier to pull up than the prince, or she mentions that she needs some more silk for her dresses. They're getting tight, probably because she's pregnant. So either way, the witch flips her shit, cuts off Rapunzel's hair, and throws her out, or kicks her out. Doesn't literally throw her out, but casts her out. And then the prince shows up, calls Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair. The braid falls down, and the prince climbs up and goes, oh, sacre crap, you're a hideous witch. She says, I've cut off her hair and thrown her out, and screw you, prince. And in grief, he, depending on the version, he either throws himself from the tower, or she throws him. But either way, he lands, and instead of his body being broken against the rocks and dying in the fall, he's just blinded by thorns. His eyes get poked out by thorns. And he wanders around blindly for a few months until he hears heavenly singing. And he follows that beautiful voice and finds his Rapunzel, who somehow is doing totally fine. And she cries on him, and her tears, which have healing properties, because that's not like a creepy Rapunzel has magic powers thing. That's very common in folklore for water to have restorative powers. So she cries on him, and the tears restore his sight, and everything is hunky dory. Then they go back to his kingdom and live happily ever after, and they have twins who, both end up going to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and it's fantastic. The end.